Okay, guys, Shane Simmons here, and this next video is about a ghost town, basically, almost a ghost town in West Virginia, known as Thurmond. And Thurmond was used in the film Matewan because basically the whole town is abandoned, as you'll see, for the most part. There's about maybe 4 or 5 people that still live there, but you know, I've been there, I guess, 4 times now, maybe, and I may have seen 2 people when combined in all of that, and those were other people taking pictures. So you get there and it's pretty much by yourself, as you're about to see. But hope you enjoy this, and just another look at an era that's passed us by. It'd be kind of cool to buy this whole town, and then you could have a town to yourself, because it's beautiful. Gosh, it's so beautiful. The drive out there is wonderful. But I hope you enjoy this look at Thurman, West Virginia. Shane Simmons, the Appalachian Project, coming at you today from Fayette County, West Virginia, heading toward a little town called Thurmond. And if you've heard of Thurmond before, it's probably not because of anybody that lives here. It's because of virtually no one lives here. It's almost a ghost town. It was settled by a guy named W.D. Thurman in 1844, and it was named after him in 1900 when it was incorporated. W.D. Thurman actually served in the Confederate Army, and he lived to be 90 years old and died in 1910. So he actually lived to see this town be named after him. It's kind of a cool thing for him, I'm sure. The town was once a bustling railroad stop. It was a major stop for the C&O Railroad with the Chesapeake and Ohio, and one time it had a couple of different hotels, the Lafayette, which some people derisively called the Lay Flat. Apparently some seedy activity may have happened there, but anyway, the other one was the Glen, and it was a 100-room hotel and resort. It was actually nationally known in today. It burnt down in 1930, and after that the town kind of went into a downward spiral and became kind of what it is today eventually. The hotel left, the businesses left, and then the banks left, and people left, and pretty much all that's left now. We're coming up on it here in just a few minutes, and it's such a gorgeous drive, though. I wanted to show you this. It's still some fall foliage up, not as much as there was, but still enough to make for a beautiful, beautiful drive into town. Thurman was also used as a backdrop for the movie Matewan, based on the Matewan massacre that happened in Mingo County, West Virginia, which is not all that far away from here. But they used it because of its perfect, still intact look of a coal town. I said it's mainly a railroad town, but back in the day that was a passenger stop, but also coal cars used it too, coal trains. And here we go. There's a sign welcoming us to Thurmond, home of Wild Water Unlimited and Dragon Diversified, whatever that is. Here we go into Thurman. Well, I'll be darned, there's a train going through. That's funny. Can't beat that. You'll notice this is a 1-lane bridge for a pretty good long wait distance too. The other side is for the railroad. I always love coming here. Just a really peaceful atmosphere, beautiful water going. It's near the new River Gorge, and it is just an absolutely beautiful place. And how cool is that? I got really lucky to get this train today. That's great. And this is the visitor center. An Amtrak train actually still services the area. Unfortunately, this train will cut me off from getting down to the downtown section for a minute, so we'll just sit here and have ourselves a little chat. Obviously, this is not a passenger train, and I would assume, I don't see coal on it, but by all measures looks like a good old coal train. It certainly won't be making a stop. I'll zoom in down there. You can see just over the horizon there, that's the downtown section of Thurman. Pretty long train too. Shane Simmons, the Appalachian Project, back with you in video number 2 in Thurman, West Virginia. What you see straight ahead there, the little yellow building to the right, is the Thurman Town Hall. And it's quite as tiny as it appears on video, just a little cinder block building. And at one time Thurman had 20 passenger cars that came through here per day, not to mention the coal trains that rolled through as well. And to the left of this building was where the Hotel Thurman, or what was also known as the Lafayette Hotel, existed before it burnt down, and then there was a meat packing plant to the left of it. Right here's the National Bank of Thurman. Before it was a jewelry store in the 19-teens, and I think that became early 1920s, it became the National Bank of Thurman. You see this downtown district. There's a New River Banking and Trust Company. Walk across here. Get a little shot of that. Like I mentioned, this was shot in the movie Matewan, which I highly recommend if you haven't seen that. We've got a few little displays here telling a little bit about the history of the town. It's really cool. I'm down here by myself right now. Not often do you have a town all to yourself. Scan back this way. And that is what they're referring to as a coaling tower right there. Long since out of use. I'll go up for video number 3 and shoot at the visitor center. We'll call it a day here after that. Just want to give you a little taste of Thurman, West Virginia. Shane Simmons, Appalachian Project, video number 3 in Thurman, West Virginia. This is the post office, just to give you a little shot of that, and we'll drive on up to the visitor center. Take a look around. You can see the railroad tracks go in different directions. And the Glen hotel that I mentioned earlier is across the road here. It is actually burnt down. You can't really see much of it left, but at one time it had been here. Again, here's the visitor center. Which unfortunately is closed this season, but this was the old Thurmond Depot. This will wrap up video 3 in Thurman. Hope you enjoyed this little trip into what is essentially a ghost town these days.